YouTube, it's me, Josh, and welcome to my review of the highly anticipated Paranormal Activity 4. Now, there are no spoilers in this review until the end, and I will warn you before they are coming, so as always, you don't need to worry about spoilers now. Okay, so we're now up to the fourth installment in the Paranormal Activity series, and I just want to say this. I really loved the first Paranormal Activity movie. I really loved the second movie. I thought that Paranormal Activity 2 was a very decent sequel. And the third movie, I still enjoyed it, but it would have to be my least favourite out of the three because of its plot holes, its false advertising, and all that stuff. So, I have been liking the series less and less, but I still enjoyed them. Okay, so what do I think of Paranormal Activity 4? Well, I enjoyed it. It was a good movie, but it did have its flaws. However, I will start off with the stuff that I did like about it. Okay, first off, one thing I really did enjoy about Paranormal Activity 4 was the storyline. I loved the story. I'll just give a brief description now. So the film takes place 5 years after the events of the second one, and we meet a new girl by the name of Alex, and she is neighbours to Katie and the mysterious son Robbie, who we assume is Hunter. So that's the basic premise of the movie. It does answer a few questions from previous movies, but it does raise them. So questions answered, question raised. So that part of the film was really good. And also, I'm not going to ruin it now, obviously, but there is a twist in the movie that sent shivers up my spine. But anyway, they did have some new stuff in this movie. For example, the webcam and the Xbox Kinect thing, none of which rivaled the fan cam from Paranormal Activity 3, but the Kinect was good. The webcam was used heaps, but it wasn't really used as a scare thing, which I was a little bit disappointed about, in all fairness. However, the Xbox Kinect was used brilliantly, like the dots were moving around and stuff, so the Kinect was used really well. Now, the acting, I'll talk about the acting. Okay, I'll start off with the new girl, who's played by Catherine Newton. Yeah, I thought she did a alright job as a believable teenager. She did a lot better than what I thought she was going to do, because in the trailer she looked awful, but in the actual movie she did an alright job. Nothing brilliant, but then again nothing bad. And then the main protagonist in the movie is her boyfriend, who I believe his name is Ben. Yeah, so he did a cool job. He was definitely the best of the new cast. The kids, Robbie and Wyatt, but they were alright. They weren't as good as young Christy and Katie in Paranormal Activity 3, but but they did an okay job. Now the parents. The parents weren't actually involved in the movies as much as they were involved in 2 and 3. So the parents weren't really a big aspect of it. They were alright. The mum was alright, I guess. The dad, we barely saw any of him, but of what we did see of him, he did an okay job. And of course, there's Katie Featherston back. Now, she's in a lot more than she was in the 3rd one, which I liked. So she did a good job. She is just as menacing as always, so it was great to see her back. I love Katie. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the flaws of the movie. Starting off with out of all the 4 movies, this one is probably the least scary of the 4. Mainly because they use a lot of jump scares in the movies. The jump scares in this were actually really similar to the jump scares in number 3 and number 2, and even the first one actually, so the jump scares were really similar, and I just felt like that we already knew when they were coming, so the jump scares didn't really work the 4th time round. So I hope for Paranormal Activity 5 that they have a new formula of scaring us, because the Paranormal Activity formula, slow start, but a build up, yes, it was terrifying to start with, but now it's got to the point where it's getting really, really old. So hopefully they can come up with a new scare tactic. And my other problem of the movie was the ending of this film was an absolute shit hole. I hated the ending with a passion. I'm not going to go into detail yet, but I'm just going to say this. It was over the top and just completely ridiculous. I'll say that about the ending. It's definitely the worst ending of all 4 of them. Okay, so now I'm just going to do a quick comparison of the movies before I go into spoilers. My favourite is the first one, and I think it will always be. And my second favourite is still the second one, and I'll put this one in 3rd spot, and Paranormal Activity 3 still remains my least favourite. So this is my second to least favourite, or my 3rd to favourite, whichever way you want to look at it. Okay, the spoiler talk starts now. Okay, so I want to start off with talking about some of the scare scenes in this movie. Now, the aim for Paranormal Activity 4 from Henry Joseph and Ariel Shulman, the directors, was to bring fear into like daily activities and stuff. So like you're scared of stuff that happens with knives, just stuff that you use to daily basis, kind of thing, if you know what I mean. That did work in some bits, like I think the first real scare, it was in the trailer, but with the chandelier lights dropping. Yes, I was annoyed that it was in the trailer, but that kind of worked. And also, the bit with the knife I thought was kind of corny. But hey, a lot of people were saying that it should have gone through his head, but I think that would have been really corny personally. And also there's a scene set in a garage, which I thought was awesome, That's probably my favourite scene in the whole movie, the scene that's set in the garage where the car turns on by itself and Alice is choking and she has to break through the car window to get out. That bit was really cool. I thought that the scene in the bathtub, which obviously was a shout out to Nightmare on Elm Street, that scene was alright. They could have done more with it. But it was cool how you didn't know what was happening to him, so like your imagination plays. So yeah. Now I'm going to talk about the twist in the movie. So not the ending, the twist. Now the scariest bit of Paranormal Activity 4 for me was when you found out that Robbie is not Hunter, Wyatt is. And honestly, I thought that was absolutely genius. Yes, I guessed it like a few minutes before it happened, but when Wyatt was talking into the wardrobe, my name is not Hunter, that bit sent chills down my spine. So I love that. Now I'm going to talk about the ending of the movie, which I hated. Like, honestly, those witches with those demons' faces, that seriously looked like grave encounters. And how corny was it that there was like an entire army? So, in all fairness, the ending was ridiculous. I hated that the whole army is just too much, and it left plot holes. Like, sure, that whole army could have easily kidnapped a virgin, and so the ending was a piece of shit. It looks like that they ripped off the effect from Grave Encounters. Okay, so that's basically my review of Paranormal Activity 4. I seem to be the only one who didn't think it was the worst, but let me know what you thought of it, and just tell me anything you want, okay? So thanks for watching, bye.